madness. Now we are being loaded up. There is no retake now. Already, though, it looks like Hive is going to favor a full 4-man push over here to the hill, and they're going to try to get these 2 kills quickly. Precision trying to find one. He is going to get TJ down. He's going to get the revive on Hndles as well. Beautiful job to get that kill early in this one.
I'm just wondering, where was the rest of Hive? They had a 4v2 or at least a 3v2 advantage. They had a player down, but everyone kind of made the wrong move there, and that's what's good about Vanquish. Now they're able to rotate over on this side of the map. They were able to hold their side, not get overwhelmed, so Hive already reacting a little slow. That Torque Bow is going to get in position. TJ is going to go ahead and mark him out. That information from the top middle that I spoke about, that's exactly what you see TJ doing. INZEM getting that early down. TJ goes down to Xysho. Well played between Hndles and Xysho.
Now we see the next retake coming in. Hndles trying to get around that corner. Beautiful revives out on both squads. What a shot out of Hndles there on the cubby corner. Solurs is still down. He's going to get revived off by Demise, and still holding on to this initial is the side of Hive. They're going to be up a couple, about 20 points here, give or take. Middle of the map, though, as this hill begins to tick down, Hive is setting up for that next retake, that next rotation. We're going to have to see how they go about this. I love the angles, though, that Hive are taking already in this reactor.
Yeah, that's something you don't necessarily see every day. It's just the aggressive play. They're head first with the shotgun, so it's a little refreshing to see that they're trying to expand their gameplay. They're not trying to be a one-trick pony as you see where the next is going to appear. They're going to have to defend in a 2v2 fashion, basically on both sides of the map. One for the hill, one for the spawn point. Xysho is going to go down first. Hndles gets taken out. Precision goes down. The cleanup on the hill is going to come through. Hive is going to solidify that one and the spawn point as well, but they need to be sure to rotate over as fast as possible. Get ready for defense.
Xysho is going to take over the middle of the map here, trying to get that angle up toward that top window. He's going to get marked out. He's going to come down here. They know where most of the members from Vanquish are. Hive dominating the early points in this one. Solurs is just holding that cubby corner. He is the person to try to shoot upon. Xysho will pick up the torque. They've not got the power weapon in his hand. Flash is going to be out over the top. Xysho is going to start revving the torque. Tries to get one shot off onto TJ. Won't be able to find it. INZEM picks up the frags on the opposite side of the map. They need to get these kills very quickly as to not allow those frags to stop this retake from coming through. Hndles is going to go down. Revive comes out. Point still going over to Hive. They have the upper hand. They have the positioning here. And now the frags are in the area, ladies and gentlemen. Don't find anybody, though. So good little look out of them first and foremost. But you see now they have to push up. They have to continue to try to go for this retake. There's no waiting around for the side of Vanquish. They are just getting dominated in the early goings of this matchup.
Yeah, I did not expect this one bit. I thought Vanquish was going to kind of be the leader in terms of aggression, but right now it's Hive. And not only are they leading in terms of aggression, they're leading in rotations. Their crosses seem to be on point. With only 13 seconds left on that hill, they're even set up. How sneaky can TJ be? Acells would be the one to get the angle on him, but the longer he stays there, if his teammates play their cards right, they could be a distraction. Gets that first kill onto Precision, gets some damage on his Xysho, and now his teammates are there. Reinforcements able to push up on the hill. Perfect timing. Xysho goes down. They get the spawn on the other side of the map, but they lose the hill. This is good for Hive yet again, attacking the hill and being first to the fight.
See Hive just continuing to go back to the old well here as they continue on doing the same things that have won them these initials thus far. Continuing to apply that kind of pressure over to Vanquish. They don't have anywhere they can go in this one just yet. And Vanquish has yet to really break into this. They've yet to really push forward and make Hive make a mistake. And look at the way that Vanquish just got called out there. How many people were down in an area? I think it was 2, both next to each other. Both are going to continue to get cleaned up by Lancer Fire. It's going to be up to somebody to make kind of a miracle play happen.
That's basically 3 kills for Precision. Finally, he gets taken out, which is good, and no points really being gained too much by VQ. They finally get in the hill, but already Hive is ready to swarm, get in the retake, and contest the hill and keep them from gaining points. But it's only going to be 3 players here. You saw INZEM go for that torque bow. It's a great job from Hive. They're continuing to put that pressure on. Down a man. TJ does go down. Cleanup opportunity here towards the back end. Precision doing what he can with the frags. Acells with the team kill. And once again, Demise and the rest of Hive are able to take back a hill that wasn't theirs.
You see Hive back in the hill, up over 140 now. Going to be getting closer and closer. As you can see, they're about to make over that halfway mark. Down to just 10 seconds left on this one, so they're going to start rotating out. There's no way they're going to hang out in this area for much longer. seconds. That's exactly what they're doing. You see them trying to push out toward the middle of the map now, trying to make a move, trying to make that next position happen for themselves. Two players from Vanquish stacked up on each other. Demise will finally go down. Hndles is going to look around, try to make sure nobody else is coming up. He knows that the spawn is right there, though. And he's going to give up the revive here. I don't know if that's a mistake, if you ask me. I know he's trying to time him out, trying to make the long spawn happen across the map. But if you do that, you give up the chance of being in a 2v1 very shortly and now getting killed off.
That's what I'm saying. Hive right now is doing a good job controlling the pace, but those are on those side hills where it's kind of really easier to anchor yourself down, control the side and control the fight. So middle hill is going to be a little bit differently, but when the result and everything's said and done, it's all going to be the same. Once again, Vanquish is first to the hill. They rack up a couple of points here and there, but Hive just completely suffocate and overwhelm the opposition. And now this is going to be their chance, though, for the side of VQ to get some sort of a split push. But it's already a bad rotation. Acells is cutting in through the middle. He's going ahead and going first, bringing up his position on over to TJ, and they're not able to kind of contest this hill. Good job being able to pick up that down onto Acells and the elimination onto Precision. 2v1 taking out Hndles. Hive, they are just everywhere. They are just first to the punch, and even when they're not scared to go head first and just take them out. And that's why they're going to be first to this rotation, and that's why it's going to be important for Vanquish not only to solidify this rotation, get first to the hill, but convincingly win this fight as a team, because if they give this one up, it's all about scrap time for Hive, and they can win this on two different fronts.
Without a doubt, I mean, Hive can continue to just make them stay in the hills for almost the entire time to force them out, up 182 to 37. Vanquish need to not only start winning hills, they need to start dominating the time barrier, and you can see they really haven't been able to do that with much success whatsoever in this map number 1. INZEM knows that they have the torque bow as well in the area, so when they're going to continue to hunker down, sit in this hill, make sure that they can get these kills. Beautiful job, though. 3 straight kills for Vanquish. One more to worry about. They finally get a retake to go. But, I mean, is it too little too late? I'm not sure. I mean, it is definitely going to be hard to come back in this one.
Too little too late. I don't feel like it's black or white. I don't feel like it's a fine line, but I will say if I had to draw a line in the sand, I think over 200 is too little too late in most occasions, even though we've seen massive comebacks happen already in what short time we've seen. But it's so hard. You have to play almost perfect. Big up A. Hndles able to take one out. INZEM is going to trade that one through, and it almost looks like Hive is fighting over that dead hill time. They need to be careful because, like I said, over 200, and you might have a little bit more of a cushion. You might feel a little bit safer, but it's not as clear cut as it may seem.
We see over toward the next rotation, the hill emptied out. Everybody's going to the next one. Acells is going to get picked off here. He's going to go down. Xysho in the area. Shots onto him. INZEM gets caught between a rock and a hard place, but still comes away with 1 kill out of the 3 players in that area. That is big time. That is massive for his confidence and his team going forward in this next rotation.
What you need to do throughout the course of these matches is build up that momentum, build up that confidence. That way, when your backs are against the wall, you can rise to that occasion. You see Demise kind of backing up little by little. He doesn't have the personnel just yet. Finally, Solurs is going to get in place to get across on one side of the map, and that's where it's going to be important right now for Hndles. The position that he's in, INZEM has to keep him away from this fight. He has to keep him outside from being able to push in with the rest of his team, but already Demise tries to get a cheeky elimination. He gets taken out. Flash by Solurs. Trade is going to be able to come through, and INZEM towards the top half. He gets taken out. That's where now Hndles is going to have a free flank in towards the middle of the map.
Beautiful job here. You see them continuing to rotate around. Solurs is just using that cubby to try to play ring around the rosy with TJ as well. They both go down. Now another hill being taken over by Vanquish, getting up to that 100-point marker, finally trying to cut within the lead of Hive. You see them backing up a little bit. Now you see all 4 members. Hive actually sending 2 members to the middle of the map, and they know that Hndles is out there by himself. They know that he can be picked off if they send all 4 players into the area. Flashes are going to come out here. Precision playing to that back cubby corner. Back A out from INZEM, trying to get as much damage possible. Full L trigger out. We'll finally get that down, and a full retake with 2 kills from the side of Hive. We'll win them to the rest of this hill. Nades won't find anything just yet. They're keeping it decapped. And this is a gorgeous job by Vanquish to just try to stay into this hill as long as possible. It's going to be 220 to 113, though, and you can already see Vanquish thinking about the next possible hill, which, I mean, just kind of continues to spell the doom and gloom for them.
They just need to win about 75% of the remainder of these hill times. Going to go ahead and stagger the deaths, getting TJ out, put him on respawn. getting control of that next hill spot, but INZEM already pushed up halfway. That's going to be telling. You need to be careful not to get eliminated. Both of these kills going to be cleaned up. So they got the respawn on that side of the map. So they're going to go ahead and anchor themselves here on this side, but it's going to be another one of those middle hills. I need to see Vanquish here at least keep Hive out of the hill convincingly. You don't have to rack up that score line. If they go ahead and push, you go ahead and back up just a little bit if you can, but you don't want to go ahead and give up this hill right now to Hive at any moment during this one, because that's going to give them the confidence, especially if it comes through late into this Hndles rotation. But 55 seconds left. It's going to be a good opportunity for Vanquish to get back into this one. You see the chess match I'm talking about, players scattered around for VQ.
Here comes the positioning from Vanquish inside that cubby corner. Precision just trying to hold off anybody that wants to come through that first doorway. Having to hold out that position. Here comes TJ on the flank, trying to get behind Xysho. He's going to be full red. Xysho is going to be down and dead, though, here momentarily. And 3 more players versus Acells. He is going to have to go absolutely godlike. He's not going to do it, and they take over the hill. Every point on this one is pertinent. They need to get back into this hill very quickly. They do not want to find themselves losing the amount of time, the majority of this hill.
Yeah, around 250 is going to be the score line. Possibly 254, 255, depending on what it may be. Well-placed frag grenade to get them back. They didn't get the eliminations, though. And that's the thing is Hive, they don't need to fight tooth and nail for everybody this time. They can back up, start the rotation, and give up these 10 seconds. But the eliminations coming through. Xysho finds both, gets them both on respawn. And this is where you need to take note. Look at where these players respawn. Those eliminations actually hurt them in the end. It allowed those players of Vanquish to spawn a little bit closer to the hill and set up defensively. But that's exactly what Vanquish needs, that opportunity to set up and collect that hill time.
Hey, you see the down comes out. Solurs now trying to rotate into the area. He sees the misroll in front of him and takes full advantage of it. Beautiful kill there by Acells to finish him off. Inside 100 points now. Every second counts once again. There is 60 left on this, so they can definitely get this lead to be cut way down and dirty. TJ now, along with Demise, pressuring Hndles in that cubby. Lancer Fire won't find any kills just yet. They find 1 down, but look at the way Hive is swarming. They are in the area of each other by about 3 to 5 yards. They played that to perfection. 2 players left of Vanquish inside the hill. Acells is going to back out just a little bit. Shock is going to be out. Trying to focus out some of that fire to stop them, and I like that. Finally, a little movement over by INZEM to make sure they cut down the hill time. Precision is going to be called out on that bottom staircase. Getting a lot of damage out. He's going to go down, but Xysho answers back with the kill on TJ. A full kill. A couple of downs on his Xysho will have him in jeopardy, but INZEM just holding court. Lancer Fire getting downs. Back A's getting kills, but the retake by Vanquish is a little too strong in that one. I think they need to leave 1 player in the hill, try to gather up as much of that junk time as possible, just not to allow Hive to get any more time out of that one. And you can see the rotation coming through. Hive already set up toward the next hill.
Yep. Talk about junk times. Vanquish knows how important getting the majority of this time is. Like I said, 75% of that time throughout the rest of it. I don't know what that is now, but they're getting attacked right now. Push towards the backside. INZEM's in 1v2, picking and choosing his shots. Gets overwhelmed by the amount of pressure being put on him and by Vanquish. Demise is going to feel that one next. He gets taken out. Acells did fall. That is going to be the glimmering sign of hope, and the Hive is going to be the first ones to the hill, but they have a little bit of a mismatch for a few seconds here to kind of overtake that hill, especially if that player spawns out, but he did get a decent spawn here to try to get with the rest of his team to defensively stop him, but Hive needs to know it's not all or nothing on this hill. They're up almost 70 points. They can back out and give it up for just a few seconds while they retake.
Now you see Vanquish continuing to pull around. They see Hndles with the torque bow out. He's going to try to get in a position to where he can get any picks. He doesn't get anybody with that first bolt. Now pushing up, trying to get into the area. They continue to have this decap going. 278, just 22 points away. And look at the stack out by Hive on the bottom side of this map. 3 players deep. Now they're going to rotate 1 more over. There's another torque. There's another decap coming away. Shock will keep them off of that corner, and now 17 seconds away from getting victory. They're going to continue to mack up points, continue to amount this lead in this matchup. Hive is going to get 1 more Lancer down. TJ pulls up, tries to make one happen, but the kill's coming through nonetheless. Lancer too big, Lancer too good. Hive just as well. They finish off map number 1, 300 to 190.
what a way to set the tone and set the pace here in this matchup and really change the way things are done. Because honestly, Colin, even though that was kind of led by shotguns, I honestly didn't think that was majority an aggressive style map. That was a lot of setup. That was a lot of team play and team holds and retakes to come through. You got to give it up to Hive and Demise joining the squad and really making some noise and shutting us all up after map number 1.
That's got to be a high level of comfortability to have a guy like Demise back on your squad. With how long a lot of you have played with him on that team, that has just got to feel oh so comfy and good. You're like, hey, look, there's not much we got to teach you. You know how we like to play things. You know how we like to be in situations. So Demise really just stepping right back into a pretty easy situation for him after last split and the disbandment of Elevate. So we see here Hive with a 1-0 lead over Vanquish, and thus far, I hate to say we jinxed us, but we definitely might have done that.
Yep, from a team like Vanquish, who's had a rocky start yesterday, a 1-1 series. I do think, but they got upset by Oxygen, possibly there at the end. Maybe not. It did go to a round game number 5. I don't see who won it towards the end, but from getting first place in the Pro League, faltering just a little bit here and there, getting Demise back onto the squad, you got to think they're beginning to really find themselves, and it came through not with a ton of aggressive plays, like I said. It's holding on the side of Vanquish, though. I feel like they were really a shell in themselves. They were kind of caught off guard and really weren't able to work as a full 4-man team, partly because the way Hive was playing.
And that's sometimes what you got to do. I mean, all it takes is just a little bit more teamwork on your side and a little bit less on theirs makes your life so very much easier. And you don't, like we said in that matchup, Hive did not give Vanquish really any time to do anything except, you want to retake? All right, get back and set up. Okay, you want to retake again? All right, get back in and set up. Like, they literally just kept them from doing anything that they probably were comfortable with that we've seen Vanquish be able to pretty succinctly do on a map like Regency.
Yep, and like I said, got to give it up to Hive once again. Vanquish, correct me if I'm wrong, one of the undefeated teams going into today, or at least going into the week. They held on yesterday, but after map number 1, it does look like things are going to be threatened, but that's going to be no surprise to someone like me and you. That's something you did speak about. Matches number 2, match number 4 is going to be big matchups. It's going to be really entertaining matchups to where we have some top dogs, elite teams really battling it out between one another. And this is where you get it out of the way a little bit early on, to where, let's just say, during that mid portion, teams get a little lackadaisy, they get a little complacent, and they get to where those teams kind of squeak out some wins. So you want to beat the teams that you can early on and solidify yourselves as a top team. That was Vanquish was able to do up until this point.
Very curious as everybody comes out of spawn. You can see here as the fly-through comes out, that cardboard cut out of the old coal train still in those Hanover Cougar uniforms. That's where most of the fighting is going to happen, what we just saw, those alleyways, those checkout lanes.
And I want to see how a team is going to be able to answer back if they just get suffocated. How these players in that 1v1 scenario, that's going to be INZEM versus Hndles out there. TJ goes in, shades of powers there. They get those instants and get out alive. Both of them going to be used, though not really able to net any ground, able to net any eliminations. We're kind of gone to waste here early on this matchup, and that's where you kind of see it. If you guys are fans of Gears of War 3, you guys remember back to the Hive Station days on Checkout, exactly what you see TJ doing matched on the other side by Acells. They're going to be able to go to that wing, cross on over, try to interrupt that 1v1 fight. So both of these teams, while it does slow down, they're thinking is not. They're thinking they're going to have to go ahead and think on 300 miles per hour. It does look like VQ is going to get the first push.
Now we see shots over the top. Demise getting some help from the middle of the map. Precision pushes up when the hop drop comes out. He'll get that kill. Demise now is going to get angled out by 3 different members of Vanquish. They've got one more to worry about. INZEM goes down. Round number 1 will go the way of Vanquish. Beautiful job there to answer back, and this is kind of what they need to do after that map number 1.
I don't want to put the blame on any one person. It is a team game, but TJ has to make sure, if you're going to go in with those instants and get out alive, you have to make sure to use them wisely. Whether you're rushing to use them or waiting a good majority of the round, you have to net something. You saw him kind of throw both of those out. I don't know if he was trying to stay alive, but he got nothing out of it. And those are those advantages you got to make sure you put to use, especially against an aggressive team like Vanquish. Persistent taking a lot of shots early on. TJ once again getting in with those instants, getting out alive. That's why I say you have to be careful. You have to let yourself something, whether you're getting positioning or an early elimination here.
Well, we see here coming into round number 2, Lancer fire out from Hive trying to slow down to the aggression of Vanquish. Xysho's going to go down. Precision's there for the revive. They get the kill on a Precision and just trading back and forth body blows, trying to get the knockout shot to come. Going to be all up to Acells now in a 3v1. He's going to bounce around. Going to get double Lancer down. They pick him off and they answer right back, and that's exactly what you need to see out of Hive, as they were able to slow down Vanquish and really keep that round in front of them.
Yeah, and I did a good job. TJ right now, the way he's going in towards that plat side, getting the instants, even though I'm knocking him a little bit for not putting them to use like I think a player of his caliber would, he's going ahead and putting that seed in Vanquish's eyes that he's going to go in plat. He's going to go in plat. Sooner or later, he's going to be able to make an audible and catch somebody off guard. And when that moment comes, it could be a big opportunity for his team to go ahead and make something happen. But he goes for it again, gets taken down early. Xysho and Acells is going to set the tone. Demise taking a bit of damage. He goes down. Solurs falls as well. Great rotation from INZEM, trying to be the hero. Ends up with nothing as Precision gets a triple kill to end that round.
And that is a fantastic job. Precision coming through big for his team with 3 kills in that round, able to just force out members from Hive, and he took advantage of any mistake, any little opening he could find, making life just miserable for anybody on the opposing squad. We come here to the round number 4. Let's see if Hive can answer back once again. That's always kind of the curious thing to me in a match like Execution. As long as you can answer back, as long as you've got some kind of pushback against your opponent, you've always got a chance. You can take it to that round 11, try to win a miracle round 11, try to get one under your belt. And right now, we need to see that out of Hive. They had the answer in round number 2. They doesn't look like they have the answer right now, as Solurs last alive for his squad, picked off and taken down 3v1 style. And that will be a 3-1 lead for the side of Vanquish.
That was looking good for Hive. Like I said, if you continue to attack that plat side for TJ, they're going to expect you to do it. So right there, they were able to get an early down, but then TJ goes, he gets caught out trying to go for those instants. If they just kind of slow it down just a little bit, work as a team, I think they would try to solidify that round, especially with a man advantage. But right now, VQ, all aggressive all the way, just like I said, especially on a map like Execution on Checkout.
You see here round number 5 and coming out hot. You see flashes already out by both squads trying to get that initial down and damage on anybody. Not going to be able to find anything pertinent just yet. You can see Demise is the first out along with Xysho and Acells for their squad. Now it's evened up 2-2. Precision and Hndles trying to take care of INZEM and TJ. TJ will have the incendiaries. That's big. I think you block off Hndles. I think you got to throw that incend at Hndles and try to 2v1 Precision on the backside of the checkout lanes. But you can see TJ, he's going to mount up the Lancer. He's going to reload it. He's going to have every shot available here as things slow down toward the later portions of this round. Vanquish looking to go up 4-1.
You need to get some early... Oh, he has a flash. Didn't expect that one. I was going to say, you need to get some early damage if you're going to push over. But right now, it does look like they're going to try to create some disruption with the flash. Not able to get a stun, but a trading of shots. I do think the angle goes over to VQ. Waste of an instant. Actually, great dodging by Precision. Trading shots back and forth. Nobody really getting the upper hand right now. But Hndles could get targeted out on that flat side. Lots of damage being fired off. But nobody wanted to take the risk to try to make the big play going in for that elimination. So this one is going to continue, and what an opportunity by TJ once again, not utilize the instants to the best of his ability.
Precision mounted up on the corner, 30 seconds until overtime. Know that ring will spawn. See, I believe the positioning still has to be in favor of Hive, as all they have to do is come out of that little cubby into the ring. They are closer to it. Somebody from Vanquish is going to have to make a move. Here comes INZEM. They're going to try to pressure over. They've actually taken over the backside of the lane.
They're gonna go for the cap.
Beautiful job. That's so huge.
That's so big. Now Vanquish, they're forced. They have to do something here. But they go trading positioning. Now the damage is big though. Hndles gonna get in the hill, but Hndles goes down. He's getting the cap on the hill. It gets stuffed. Hndles gets cleaned up. TJ is looking like he's gonna win it with the hill. Tables have turned. Hive sneak away that round, and that could be a huge momentum shift that they need in this execution. Trailing 3-1 at that one point, even though they're down a round, momentum is a thing.
Momentum is definitively a thing. That is 3-2. They finally find the answer back after dropping a couple of rounds in a row. Vanquish looking to shut that momentum down right here again. They don't want to continue to give up rounds to Hive, especially with the way that last control went. You know, you got to go through that escalation next, and then you go right back onto it. So I think Vanquish probably needs to find themselves a couple of good victories here to try to set this one down. TJ shots over the cover. He's full red, not down yet, though. And you see Vanquish now mounting up with the Lancers. They saw that Hive, and they called it out that Hive was trying to slow things up against him. Beautiful job, beautiful positioning. That's 3 down and dead, 4 all red. My goodness, 4-2 we go. Vanquish 2 rounds away from tying it up 1-1.
I don't know his strategy right now for VQ, but once again, they're just letting TJ go in, get those instants. Even though he's not necessarily picking up some big kills, even though he got a massive double kill to help clutch that last round, to me, he's more utilizing it to scare away these players, get them off of positioning, and then they solidify the eliminations after. 4-2, they still got some coming back to do, but he's really doing all he can for his team.
Now we see Precision getting full redded as he goes into those lanes. Beautiful job thus far to get the team fire off for Hive. Nobody down just yet. The only person from Hive even damaged was TJ for a moment there. Still 4-4 on the map effectively. And basically mirrored up. Nobody has given up an inch. Nobody's able to take a mile. This one will start to settle down until somebody makes that first move.
It's important right now for Precision to check him every step of the way. Because if that Lancer fire comes through and they're on the same page, they can push through, try to get the down, and Precision has to make sure they get something out of it. Some sort of damage trade-off here. As you look around, there's really no utility on anybody but INZEM, so he has that opportunity. A flash over the top, trying to catch somebody off guard. INZEM has that opportunity to kind of do it himself. Like I said, if they plan this wisely, they could go ahead and make things work, but he goes in for the frag grenades, getting crossed from the wing. That was an angle I said to watch out for early on. INZEM's gonna get taken out. Vanquish, they want to go on map point.
They are definitely trying to. 1 player dead. That's INZEM for the side of Hive. Now it's a 3v4 situation. You can see the double shot shotguns coming through. Beautiful job and teamwork by Vanquish thus far. They are really putting on a clinic and execution, how to win checkout and how to win it definitively. 1 round to go before they can get it to 1-1.
I almost wonder like how deep the strategy is going to go, because we saw it in Gears of War 3, and we know history repeats itself on these style of maps, where players from that 1v1 position do throw their utility over towards that checkout and plat side fight to really win that fight and kind of just hold their player off in a 1v1. How long until that one comes into play, who knows? But Precision once again running through smoke flashes. TJ trying to go in. They finally check him. Not able to clean up that down just yet, but Precision gets taken out. First blood going over. Acells falls. Xysho falls as well. Hive in this round looking to win their 3rd, leaving Hndles on an island. He gets taken out. 4 players dead. 3rd round in the books for Hive, but the score 5-3 still in favor of Vanquish. They're still on map point.
You see, that was a beautiful round by Hive. They were able to get the initial damage there onto a guy like Acells, able to get that early pick out as well. When you can cut off the tip of the spear and you can really blunt the weapon, it's really hard for any team in Execution 2.0 to come back into a round, into a matchup, and start to get those victories under their belt. Let's see if they can finish it off here as we are in round number 9. Precision trying to take position once again inside those lanes. Shots out over the top. Nobody able to get much damage going just yet. Acells is full red. He needs to be very careful in this spot.
Yeah, he definitely does, because that's kind of considered the bad side. Yeah, you kind of have that right-hand advantage, but you can't push up because of the amount of cross you will take from that middle aisle where Demise is sitting. But on the other side, you can kind of push up on that cover, but the cross, you're not going to get that same angle. It's kind of that give and take that goes from having a good side and a bad side. You see the flashbang coming out. That's going to push TJ back. They're going to target him. Exactly what I said to look out for. That flash grenade from downtown. Now it's Acells' turn, trying to get those instants, but he gets taken out. Trying to steal Page out of the Hive playbook. Xysho's going to fall. Precision trying to be the hero. He falls as well. Xysho with the chain revive coming through. No eliminations being picked up just yet, but it does look like Hive are going to have the numbers, have the damage, and have the advantage here. 4v2, make that a 4v1, leaving Hndles by himself. He's not going to be able to get the elimination, and Hive win their 4th round, 1 step away from tying this one up.
Yeah, they are 2 rounds away from taking a 2-0 lead as well. So far, the MVP for the side. Oh my God, was that 14 assists for Xysho?
I think it is. Oh, no. Yup.
11 downs.
Dying doesn't scare me. Let's do this.
Hey, when you have your rolls, you have your rolls, Colin. Because you know there's rolls and gears, right?
don't tell the general population that. They might lose their absolute mind hearing something along those lines. But we come here to round at number 10. Vanquish goes with the over-aggression. They try to get up into the face of Hive, but they don't catch anybody slipping, really. They don't really get any good shots going early. The Incendiary will find precision, and now with a 4v3 advantage, this is looking like it's going to be all tied up and going to a round 11.
TJ sticking to what works, his strength, getting those instants in, getting them out and putting them to use. Xysho, just like Cross is just going to be too much. Hndles doing what he can, tries to backtrack, find his cheeky elimination, stuck with just a little sliver. As Hive, they tie it up 5-5, 3 straight rounds in the books. We got our round number 11. Will TJ make the risky play to get the instance? Will Vanquish stop him? You're not going to have to wait long to find out.
Not gonna have to wait long to find out anyway. This is that round 11, that vaunted round 11. Incendiaries, nades, and sniper placed down by both, or not say placed down, but on the map. Both teams vying for position over them. Coming out of spawn 3v3, and then the 1-1 down on the bottom side flashes out precision. We'll try to pressure up. He gets the up A. That is absolutely huge. There's no way you could expect that kind of aggression, but it comes through. They get 2 quick kills, 3 in a row. INZEM down and dead. Vanquish tie it up.
That was big for Vanquish. Losing 3 straight rounds, Colin, to answer the call in a round number 11 to tie it up 1 apiece. Like I said, execution on checkout is a Vanquish-style map with their aggression.
Without a doubt, now we have it 1-1. The conclusion of this match will be right after this quick commercial break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gears Esports. We are in the middle of a heated battle between Hive and Vanquish, and it is all tied up 1-1. We will be going to Escalation next on Vasgar. Both of these teams pretty impressive. Last time we saw them both on Vasgar as well.
No, it definitely was. You kind of see the Escalation. Really, I feel like in this map really is going to be the difference. You see Hive kind of taking a step back from all-out aggression in control. Reactor got in their face when they had to, but to me, it was all-out team play that really excelled. Check out going to a round number 11. Vanquish switching up the strat at a moment's notice. Precision leading the charge, getting first 2 kills to really take over execution. That's why we go to Vasgar. Escalation, the tried and true between a lot of these teams. It's not a game number 5, but it is going to be a game number 3 to really take the momentum from this series. It's going to be another fast game like you know Vasgar to be, full of rotations, and you almost got to give the upper hand to Vanquish. You saw what they could do when you play into their style of game.
Yeah, without a doubt, Vanquish has to try to push the momentum here. They have to try to push the pacing on a map like Vasgar. It is already getting loaded up, so we know we're going to try to load out and roll out of that one. But we have, so far, a pretty standard, good setup map on Reactor by the side of Hive, and then we go over to check out, and Vanquish answer right back pretty succinctly with a good win there in 6-5 and 11 rounds. Canadian tournament up there, that didn't, they got to I think semis, and then they lost.
Let's not talk about that one. I was a part of that team a little bit on the analyst side. I didn't travel to that event, you know what I mean? It might have been a different story if I could have stepped into play. Who knows? Who knows? Because I know me and Speedy were like the 1-2 combo. Spaghetti and meatballs, peanut butter and jelly. I dropped like 40 downs where he dropped like 40 kills in a game once.
So were you the spaghetti or the meatballs?
It doesn't matter. He can choose. I'm just following around with a Lancer.
Sometimes that's facts, especially if you think about how good Speedy was in Gears 4. Set up right now, 2-1 hill advantage in favor of Vanquish. Now they're just going to force the side of Hive to push in. Keem is somewhere on the map. He's going over to the backside of A. There's Keem. We see him. I wanted to watch Keem a little bit. I wanted to see how he was going to do.
I'm saying he's going to fit in pretty well. He's, you know, formerly known as, I do believe, Red Robin back in Gears of War UE. He reached the Challenger Finals way back then when we had that Pro League, and he's working it right now. Player is down towards the backside. They're not letting Acells get this revive, and just like that, Keem's going to save the day, almost going for a triple cap domination. It's going to be up to Precision here to get the touch. He needs the reset as well. He gets taken out, cleaned up by Keem again, and I am King Kong, hear me roar.
Keem not giving up, and certainly not Hive. They aren't giving up whatsoever, so they win round number 1 here in map number 3 against the side of Vanquish. Vanquish had a pretty good defensive setup. They couldn't finish off that kill on the steps, and once they couldn't finish that off and they allowed the revive to come out, the return fire, the answer back by Hive was just too strong. Boltox are going to come out. We will go into round number 2 here on map number 3. And I'll be curious to see if Vanquish is able to overcome that, because that might, I mean, I feel like that should be a little bit of a body blow to your confidence.
Yeah, it definitely is, especially like we said, no shade on Keem or anything, but when you get the coach coming in, you got to have a little bit of a confidence booster. You got to feel like you can take it at any moment here, but Keem not backing down to a challenge. Back A, he's getting the help he needs with Demise over the top. He's going to solidify one. They get to yet again. Vanquish, you better watch out because you've awoken the beast.
Now Keem is going to be pushing across over to the C Hill. Demise just trying to check the middle of the map, going for a flank here on these 2 players from Vanquish. Trying to get behind. Little triple cap domination being threatened momentarily, but they chase Keem off of the hill. They're going to be able to get back their home, but Vanquish has died over at B, and a lot of over rotations are coming out. I think what you're going to see Vanquish start to do is try to pick on Keem a little bit because of the fact that they can't trust him as much to make the proper rotations because he doesn't play the game nearly. See how they do here as Hndles will push up here, and they need to probably push up before that respawn comes out. You want to use your advantage here. You don't want to give them the chance to set back up defensively. Xysho is going to push up toward the tank, and it's going to be 3v2 over here, leaving TJ in a 2v1 on the opposite side of the map, and I don't know if they know that just yet.
Yeah, that was a must need right there. Get Solurs out of that position, but once again, Keem's gonna back up TJ here in this fight. You saw what he could do with Demise by his side. TJ's taking a bit of damage though. Keem trying to be the hero. He gets taken out. Triple cap domination this time in favor of VQ, but Solurs saves the day off of respawn along with Demise. They're going to keep this one going. They have about a 40, less than that now, point lead here that they have that could use as a cushion to push up, try to get the decap on this C hill and try to maintain it. That's exactly, I love the way they didn't cap that. They know timing is of the essence. Once you solidify these 2 hills instead of defensively, that's when you can use your teamwork.
See, Solurs is going to get revived right here, continuing to look around. Solurs will help his teammate take over that hill. Vanquish trying to push up. TJ with a beautiful little wrap shot there to finish off that down and the kill. Point advantage will go over to Hive, and they have a down in the middle of the map on Acells. He's going to go ahead and finish off in the middle. Need to get over to that C hill. Here comes the retakes. It's going to be 3v2 here as well. So Hive will have the advantage, but they're going to pressure the triple cap domination and force members of Vanquish out of this fight. Solurs pushes up, gets 1, goes down to the second. Ain't going to be able to get anything else going just yet. They've got 1 kill here. Hndles is down. They need to try to find the revives and the kills all at once, but the flank from TJ, just too much, just too big, just too grand, and that will continue to keep them in the advantage in this one and down to just 10 seconds. I mean, it's got to be damn near over, but crying.
Yeah, it's not about capping hills anymore for the team of Vanquish. They need to solidify these eliminations and begin to stagger these deaths and not let anybody sneak around. Beast didn't stay capped. He's going to be decapped here for a moment. Keem doing what he can to trade off players. Hill's going to stay decapped. Precision knows he needs to stay alive. He needs to buy his team some time to let this rotation come through. Hndles going to be here in just a moment. He turns and burns. He gets a massive double kill. He's saving the game right now. Hndles just in the nick of time there to back up his teammate. This is massive. Great last ditch effort. Hndles gets another one. Vanquish, they're pinning it together. They get another elimination. They take out Keem and they steal around the way from Hive.
What a meltdown there in the final few seconds of that round, up over 3 minutes for the side of Vanquish to answer back and tie it up 1-1. And that was on the back of some absolutely massive plays. I without a doubt, just the amount of aggression at that arrival side of the map in that spawn area, and Hndles getting as many kills as he did there just saves them, gets them right back into this. They tie it up. Coming into round number 3, Retros are out by both squads. Need to figure out how they're going to try to rotate around on this one. As you know, if you end up losing one side, never mind, we ended up losing a player.
Bye.
And before we speed back into this game and get this round underway with INZEM rejoining in the roster of Hive, this is going to be much more interesting now, I would say, because now after winning a round with Hive and with Keem on your squad, you got to be feeling very confident with INZEM back in the lineup. 3 players from Vanquish headed over to the B hill toward the tank, trying to take over the backside of the map. Trying to get this early 2-to-1 hill advantage under their belt so they could try to pressure out anybody from the side of Hive. If they try to push in, Retro has already gotten 1 down, continuing to put out shots, continuing to make Demise very, very difficult to get in that position. INZEM over the top. He's going to go down. That'll be 2 quick kills for Vanquish, and that will open up the push over to C, and it's going to force the other 2 members of Hive to take this fight.
You know, I was actually a little bit wrong on J-Ribs. One of my closest friends, I was a little wrong on his history. I'm going to have a talk with him later, but triple cap domination, sounding off for a moment. Multiple hills could be defended here, but they have to pick one and go. Demise takes a ton of retro shots. He gets taken out. B hill is going to be fought over. They get it down to come through. Trades going back and forth. But it is going to be VQ with the last laugh over on the C hill, but they're going to keep the game alive. Solurs, and I do believe Acells on the other side of the map. Demise, excuse me, there. They're going to keep this one alive for the neutral. DJ and the rest of his team, they're going to spawn up, and that's where you see the rotation come through. They're going to have to take their home hill back if they're going to get back into this game.
Yeah, without a doubt, the retro of Acells is going to continue to stay stacked here, trying to put damage onto anybody. It's going to make life very hard for you to get into these hills if you are anybody from Hive coming back off of respawn. Beautiful double Lancer in the area. Here comes a flash trying to answer back. Hndles has actually picked up a Lancer now. Pushing in, misses a little shot there in the cubby corner, gets that chunk. Beautiful shot there by him. Acells trying to clean anybody else up that he can in the area. They get the kills. They're at the home. That's 3 down and dead. TJ knows that he's going to get pushed out from 2 different angles, so he's going to get angled out there. A hill will go back. C hill already in favor, and Acells will be able to hop and drop into the B, which will give them an even greater point advantage. They just have to avoid what happened to Hive in the last round and avoid giving up that final last-second push to lose the round.
Yeah, don't get sucked into that big team fight. Don't get wiped off the map. You guys take your individual fights if you have to. And make sure that you leave that sneaky play open towards the back end. Don't create it all on one hill as you see the mismatch coming through. 3v2 on one side of the map. A down coming through. Acells trying to hold on. They're going to lose that neutral, but they don't have time to cap. They have to continue to go forward. They're not even stepping foot into this hill. I don't think it's going to come through in time, and it is not. Vanquish is going to be able to hold on to that round 2 in a row and go up 2-1 in the map.
Beautiful job in Vanquish in round number 3. They get a couple of kills early to allow them to take a 2-to-1 hill advantage, especially off the back of that early cap over there at the tank. And then the retro just way too strong. When Hive tried to push up there at the A hill, they get shredded. They try to go back over off of respawn and push back into their own home hill, and Acells with the retro just way too strong, way too good in that situation playing defense, so they end up really holding on the entire time on the backs of some beautiful defensive plays, and the retro just absolutely shredding people, but both of them give it up. They automatically go back over to the shocks. Interesting play call if you ask me if I'm Vanquish, because that retro really did, I mean, make life so much easier for them in every fight.
Now they're just trying to go with the flow. Try to match shock for shock towards his back end. You know, this is kind of a swarm position towards the backside of the tank, but Solurs gets caught out. He got angled. He got taken down. Not eliminated just yet. It does look like him and Solurs going to the chain revive. Xysho is going to get both with the help of Acells. So TJ just needs to buy time. He needs to waste as much of the time for VQ as possible to get his team back into this one. But he falls, and there goes 3 players dead. They're going to have to fight for their home hill back. INZEM needs to just buy some time for his team. And there goes the decap. Xysho is immediately going to rotate off. Nobody at this point can get any points gained for them.
And now we see Acells down here at the B hill, going to be picked up in a meat shield situation. That'll give the B hill back over to the side of Hive. This Vanquish, meanwhile, is pushed up onto the home hill of Hive. They get their own back. They're going to push into this A hill. Here comes the respawns. TJ will be first into the fight. He still had a little bit of spawn protection coming into it. He's only going to go down. Beautiful brick out by Xysho, but 3v1. There is not much you can do in that situation other than hope for the best and just S and H, baby. Shoot and hope right there.
Nice flash over the top. They get some damage and the stun, but unfortunately they have the cross over the top as well, so they're not able to advance any further. They're actually kind of getting stuffed, so that's where you're going to see the separation. Xysho's going to try to take that 1v1 against Demise to try to spread out the numbers on defense, but Going to be a 3v3 for this A hill. I got to think the angles favor Hive here. It's about can they pick up this elimination onto Solurs. They're pushing through. Solurs going to hold his ground, get the down onto one. The angles are going to come through. I do believe somebody else from Vanquish here will fall, barring any miracle plays, barring any big eliminations. The Acells goes down next. Precision, it's only a matter of time. 3 players dead for Vanquish. Triple cap domination opportunity from Hive in just a moment.
Now we see Xysho trying to go for that back A, gets a little bit of damage there, but not enough to really pressure up into the second shot. Just a few more pellets. He has help coming over the hop and drop from Hndles, but Hndles is going to get 2v1 now, just staggering the deaths, forcing everybody from Vanquish to kind of flood into hills, trying to stop a triple cap domination. Beautiful shot there. They're going to get their home hill back momentarily, but this is a really sticky situation. As you can see, up over just 10 seconds to go now, they can settle down this hill and get the last round of the first half and tie it right back up 2-2, which, ladies and gentlemen, is looking like what they are going to do with under 3 seconds. That will be 2-2, all tied up.
Throughout the course of that one, being able to hold on to 2 hills, get yourselves the early lead, force your enemy team into desperate situations to where they're not able to kind of use all of their resources, not able to use all their manpower and work together. Hive doing a good job. Doesn't matter if it's Keem on their backside or INZEM. They're going to be in it to the very end. But shout out to Keem one more time. Short stint here on today's matches, but he did just enough to keep Hive into it. Holding and making sure INZEM's seat is warm. But back on over to the Bull Talk. Something we saw early on, but this is where things get a little different. Once the retros get upgraded, that's where teams begin to make a little bit of different strategy where you have it to 60 seconds, upgrade to the instance, or simply put a big weapon down.
Here we go. Second half started off. 2 members from each team kind of splitting the map in half right now. And Xysho trying to find out where anybody else is going to rotate. 2 players from Vanquish will have the top elevation control over the E-Hill. TJ will have the Bull Talk here over the top of the tank. And he sees the precision is off to his right.
Ooh, he would have just hit all those shots. That would have been a down, possibly a headshot and precision. Had control over that hill, but getting that shock out, that's going to be a little bit of a win for them, but it is traded off. So it's going to be all flashes around the board. It does look like they're going to try to target out Demise. Back A, trading off damage. Both players even going down. It's going to be up to Hndles here, bouncing around. He doesn't get the revive onto Acells. Solurs is going to go ahead and get the elimination, stagger the other one, and continue on rotating. They're going to capture that hill, but they know they need to backtrack, get in position to retake their home hill away from Xysho.
You see Xysho over top of this D hill, excuse me. Just waiting in the area. INZEM right across from him, just taking his time, waiting for the next person to come off a respawn in a 2v1. Xysho maintaining a lot of attention over here. 3 players trying to push over to E momentarily until you see, I think it's Acells rotating back over to his home hill to try to make sure that he does not go down or not give it up without a fight. Hndles here on the vending machine. Going to be doing back A's out over to Demise. Not going to be able to get enough to really pressure him in this situation. Demise, beautiful job there to play back, play the power position, and play the damage game. Precision needs one more good shot. Does get it to go. That will win them this E-Hill. And now the 2v2 at the home hill of Vanquish is going to be very important for Hive not to lose in this situation. Flashes out. They're trying to go for the X angles here. A lot of downs coming through. A lot of damage being put out, but not enough yet to really solidify any of these kills until just this moment. Acells crawling over to try to get revived by Xysho.
Yep. Now you're going to see once more 2 hills into the hands of Vanquish. Uncontested. They're going to not only have the win condition, but come back in just a few short seconds here. So it's going to be up to Hive really just figure out where the information is at, where they're set up, and where they're going to push. And they have the high ground to do it. You see INZEM kind of trailing behind. Demise gets taken out. Fights off a little more than he can chew. Solurs doing what he can to keep this one as even as possible, because they know even though right now it's still rather close with Vanquish barely getting the lead, the longer it takes to get that second hill, they're going to have to hold on, possibly go for a triple neutralization as Acells gets down and out by Solurs. They find themselves a second elimination so late into this one. Hive trying to go for a last second win.
Now we see Solurs over the top of the Bull Talk, throws out his last 3 shots, connects with 1. F-Hill will be retaken by Hive. Vanquish have to put in here to make sure that they have to get their home hill back. Opposite side of the map, Precision will possibly have a 1v1 to really solidify this round. Solurs is going to pressure up on his Xysho. Xysho, who was flashed, had his Lancer out. He should have been an easy kill. Acells finds one. Little wiggle waggle out of him to try to get the miss. INZEM, though, won't be fooled twice. Gets the kill. solidifies the hill. Precision has to push the 1v, but when you have to take a fight instead of taking the one you want, that's always bad news bears. 3-2 Hive. They take the lead once again here in map number 3.
Even though it's not make or break by any means because of how much time was actually left when you got that cap, but notice how INZEM chose to favor the cap late into that round before going for the revive. It's kind of realizing and focusing on what is important, what the win condition is. Like I said, something so small, but you can only imagine if this one was just a little bit more close, how much difference that would have actually made. But 2-3, Vanquish now trail here as the first round of the half goes over towards Hive. And honestly, it's just their teamwork right now that is really propelling them ahead of VQ. They're just being able to make the right rotations. They're making sure that every one of their eliminations actually matter.
Now we see retros and shocks out for both squads. We're rolling out a spawn here. Looks like Hive is only going to pick up the shock unless they rotate the other player in to pick up the retro as well. This is Xysho going to get lancered out by Solurs if he pushes up too far. Xysho is going to actually try to block him off with that shock, and the flash is out. The shock lands just a hair short. He will get the down, but it'll just be right there at the back of the tank. He was about a step and a half away from getting away from it.
I like the selection right now Solurs is making in order to not take too much damage too early. Bouncing around, and he gets another double kill. I don't know how this man does it, but he's always the forefront of what Hive is able to do. Like I said, it's a flank play. It's a big clutch play. He is the backbone right now of Hive in this match. Now he has to do it again. The same two players he just eliminated. This time he does get taken out. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Said that backwards.
Shut him down. Get the hill back in their favor. 2-1 hills in favor of Vanquish. They're going to get lancered out, though, over here at the E hill, going for the quick revive off. Xysho trying to push up. Acells, he has to now fight for his life in a 2v1. Flash will go down. He's trying to stun anybody, trying to make sure he doesn't get angled out. Goes for the wrap here on the vending machine. He's going to miss roll out to the left. There he goes. He'll go down as well. Demise, he's going to be able to continue to stack up and play defense here. Lancer angle out as they come up from the tank. Not going to be able to get any downs just yet. A lot of damage being put out, though. There it is, the return fire. 3 players of Hive in the area. Nobody can push up onto that altar just yet to try to get that decap going on the F hill.
I'm just kind of looking right now. Tug of war. They weren't able to kind of go in just yet, but finally VQ gets the decap to come through. They're trying to get the capture as well. And they get the elimination on Demise. This is kind of like a kid in a candy store, getting a little bit of everything here, and they quickly eliminate Demise. They don't want to stagger that death too much. As you look, that's exactly what Vanquish is looking to do, and that's the opportunity. Solurs gets caught out. They're trying to angle him out, but the longer they stay here, the longer that threat of the player spawning up towards the backside is going to be there. But Hndles drops down in towards the center. He wants to flank. He wants to solidify these eliminations and the round for Vanquish.
Now rotating back over toward that cubby. There's a beautiful kill there. Xysho will see another one down. This is going to be a triple cap domination situation. INZEM goes for the up A, but need to be able to get into the hill to be able to stop that triple cap domination, which they don't do. So now it's tied back up once again. Vanquish have it at 3-3, and now it's a best of 3 going into the final 3 possible rounds of map number 3. See who can take this lead.
Trying to see, it's usually the telling right now of the 60-second retro. It's not going to be halved, to where if you upgrade to incense, just like kind of like you see, and this goes to a final round, you're gonna have to put that big weapon down, even if you use your bucks. Both of these teams, granted, obviously you win the next one, you double lock going into the final round, you're gonna have to play something center line. Possibility of a big weapon is there, but I don't want to get too excited. We've seen some Marxes go out before.
Well, here we go with the double utilities on both sides, rotating out. 2-2 situation on the map. Nobody able to take a lot of advantage so far in this one, as Shock will come out trying to block them out. The Shock lands right at that cubby corner. Got the down on Demise, so he's got 2 more to go. Solurs will throw that flash. He loses a teammate and his utility. Tries to roll over just to try to get into the face of Hndles. Maybe get a lucky one shot there, but both kills come through for Vanquish. Now Precision tries to pull up, and that won't be anything to go for them. Trying to answer back as best they can. Vanquish will still have their home and the mid-neutral, and it looks like they're going to continue to rotate Hndles all the way across the map. They'll have a break here, going for the triple cap domination, but the down on Xysho pretty much solidifies the fact that there will be a decap here at the home hill of Vanquish, and Precision is going to try to rotate out toward the E hill.
Only about 30+ points here. Almost 40 at this stage in the game. INZEM, with the help of TJ, they're going to get that elimination, solidify the neutral hill as well. This is where it's going to get tricky because they're threatened. They need to get their own home hill back, but Xysho is really the difference maker on his own. TJ knows they want to get this elimination, but at the wrong time, he pushes forward. Precision spawns up. So not only going to get the elimination, they're going to get that hill as well. Acells a little too forward, trying to maintain and buy his team some eye. He's going to get taken out. Solurs looking to capture that hill. Not triple cap domination just yet. F is still in the hands of Vanquish, plus a 40-point lead. They have enough time here to sacrifice this lead to get the amount of information they need, figure out where the setup is, and break through.
You see Hndles going through the top of the arrivals. He's got a teammate with him. That's Acells. Gruesome twosome from the Astro battles, the 2v2s. Trying to make a move over here toward the E hill.
Flashbang out.
See them trying to push up here. Flash out. Acells tries to get into the area to get some good L triggers out, but won't be able to find anything just yet. You see across the map, nobody's able to really push through. Flash long range over. Hive now pick up their incendiary. Vanquish does theirs as well. Shocked pick up by both squads too. So it looks like Hive will have theirs over toward the F hill, whereas once again, Vanquish will have their utility grenades over here toward the E hill.
Slow and steady wins the race. Vanquish already have the lead. Or at least they had the lead for a moment. They just need to toy with it right now. Catch somebody off guard. TJ and INZEM are going to continue to try to fire off. Big plays being made. Acells tries to make a play, but it cost him his life. Now Hndles in a 1v2 situation. He's trying to make something out of nothing. He falls as well late into this round. Hive, they get their second hill. The pressure is going to be felt by Xysho and Precision across the map. A shot grenade is going to slow him down for just a few moments, but they can't slow down much longer. Less than 10 seconds remain. 2 uncontested hills. Hive will pull away with this round. Precision goes down, instant creating separation, and that is going to be it. The final nail in the coffin. Hive are now on map point, trying to take the series lead.
Hive looking to go up 2-1 and take it back to control, which they absolutely dominated in map number 1, which should be a good situation for them. Here we will see, as you take a look over that scoreline, Solurs has 21 kills thus far in this map. Absolutely fantastic job, really putting his team on his back and making it just unbelievably hard for Vanquish to win any of these matchups that they have going. I mean, you've seen it time and time again. Anytime Vanquish starts to find something under their belt, they can't really get it going as Solurs ends up being the ones to shut them down. There's the disable out by Hive, and I believe Vanquish has to answer back with the same thing, whether it be incendiary or shock was yet to be seen. It'll end up being the incendiary grenade, so we will come to round number 8. Vanquish has to tie this up right here, right now. Hive will not have their shock. Vanquish will not have their, or Hive will not have their incendiary. Vanquish will not have their shock.
So both of these teams, up until this point, kind of mirroring each other with that lock going down. You see the difference in strategy. One team fearing the shock, like you said. The other team kind of fearing that incendiary grenade, thinking it's too much of a big impact style of weapon. But when it comes down to strategy, 2v2 around the board on one side of the map, you kind of got no utility in the hands of Acells and Hndles. That's going to be INZEM and Demise. They have about both flash and shock grenades here. They can try to make a play on this hill, whether they go for eliminations or simply the capture. It's only a matter of time here when they feel that's necessary.
They get the decap to stop the point accumulation. Vanquish really getting out of hand. Here comes the extra flash and shock into the area. Hndles was trapped for a moment. Any extra damage onto him would have put him down, but Acells is already down. That's 2 quick kills for the side of Hive. Hive now on the trail. They're going to fly over here toward the tank side. They're looking to get these last 2 kills. Xysho full red, has to leave his teammate to be down and dead. Runs right into INZEM, though, and this could be a very quick round, as the closest and quickest person off a respawn is going to be Acells. That will be it, ladies and gentlemen. Hive will win map number 3, 5-3, and they will take a 2-1 map advantage here over Vanquish.
And that's really telling right now. It doesn't matter, like I said, if they had Team, if they had INZEM, or heck, if they had Solurs being the workhorse for the squad. They were kind of in control throughout the majority. That's something I didn't expect to see. I thought we were going to see an aggressive Vanquish, especially after execution on checkout. So right now, Hive is doing a good job of not only proving me and you wrong in terms of our predictions, but proving everybody wrong for their predictions.
Without a doubt, and it's a good thing to see from Hive. Look, yesterday they were upset, so we thought that they might wake up, and they might have woken up a lot more than just a one matchup type of we got to go out for vengeance later on tonight. They might have awakened a sleeping giant and a sleeping beast in the side of Hive. They might be going on a tear and on the warpath. They certainly are thus far in this matchup against Vanquish. It's going to be very interesting to go back to control with the way that Hive was able to play that first one, how they were able to completely keep them locked up and down and out for most of it.
And that's right. I kind of said it, though. If you're a team like Hive, you take the first control map, even though round number 2 did go to 11 rounds. It's like you have the opportunity right here, 3-1 scoreline. You can end it on training grounds control, and it's a map that you may not necessarily have the most reps under your belt. When it comes to the game mode, you really set the pace. You set the control on map number 1.
Without a doubt, Keem here still, I mean, he was there for what, 2 rounds, the 1 round, 2 rounds. Did a fantastic job trying to hold on for his squad and his team, getting them at least 1 round under the belt. That could have very well been the difference maker, but most of these highlights, I mean, as good as the bouncing is by both of these squads, a lot of the highlights and a lot of the praise for that map 3 victory for Hive needs to go on over to Solurs without a doubt. He really did make life just absolutely terrible to live for anybody on Vanquish. He was everywhere that they didn't want him to be. They come away with a 5-3 victory there on Vasgar. We go to training grounds, which much larger than Reactor. Does that make it that much more difficult for Vanquish to get something going with the way that Hive was able to really hold them down with defensive setups on that Reactor map?
Normally, I would say no, because the way Vanquish is kind of able to use their aggression and break through the setups regardless of the amount of cross. But right now, Vanquish is playing like a shell of themselves. They're not playing like they normally would in terms of aggression. They're not really making Hive regret most of their moves. And it's up to Hive right now. They're setting the tone in map number 1. Even though they did falter map number 2, it was TJ who was kind of being the tip of the spear, leading, getting those instants time and time again. And then back onto Vasgar. It didn't matter who they had on their side. Hive's strategy was simply to slow down Vanquish, and they're doing exactly that. So like I said, we could see a 3-1 series if Hive continues to lay out that blueprint against this VQ squad of slowing them down, making sure they're not firing on all cylinders. They're not able to really pick it up and join that race that is the horse track of Vasgar going around. They were just kind of stuffed. And right now, yes, in Vasgar specifically, Solurs was a big impact player, but overall, the teamwork of Hive is really just shutting down Vanquish.
Right now, they're doing a fantastic job of it, and they are shutting them down. As we go over to training grounds, I talk about how much it's a much more wide open map, and we know that when it comes to competitive control, the hills kind of rotate or always start on the same side. So when you play scrims, you always kind of know how your initials are going to start, what you want to go for, whether it be the power weapon, whether it be for the hill. What do you think we're going to see? Is Vanquish going to do the same thing they did in map 1, where they kind of split it up, go for the power weapon and the hill at the same time? Or are they going to try to 4-man push back against Hive in this matchup? Because Hive, they jumped out to an early 30-point lead in map number 1 when they went for the full 4-man push at the hill.
I would like to see Vanquish kind of take the fight wherever it may be. If your plan is to go for those weapons, I want you to stick to your plan. Get those weapons. You may go down early, maybe 20, 30 points, but you need to make sure that when you're finally making those moves, that you decide, are we going to use those power weapons that we fought for to break that hill, or are we going to kind of try to save them? Use our stock weapons, use our cross to try to find the eliminations to break that hill, and save the big power weapons. Save that for what could be the next hill, catching those players on rotation. But I do think Vanquish on this next map, they have to come out swinging. They have to start hill number 1 with some contention from Hive, because if Hive gets up in their groove, they start begin to solidify the positioning, using their teamwork, crossing players out. This is going to be another hard game for Vanquish to overcome.
Well, right now, it looks like we're going to have a 3-3 with a 1-1 on the opposite side of the map. We see now everybody trying to fight over the back U side of this, and Hive is starting to win it. They get the first icebreaker kill. INZEM gets the second shot over the top of the hills. Xysho will answer back with 1, but, I mean, that's not going to be enough at all in this immediate future. Hive will once again win the initial here at the hill and be able to start accumulating a lot of points early in this one. They're going to be up over 15 probably before anybody even gets close to going for the decap.
Lots of crossfire coming down. They don't want to give it up to them easy. That's why we talk about that pre-fire, making sure that they're feeling that pressure, your presence every step of the way. Solurs does have a frag. Only one, though. He had to use the other one to get out alive, so he can easily put a thorn in the side. Stop this play from even developing. Garrett goes towards the backside, trying to catch Xysho off guard. It is going to connect, and he saves, gets a quick revive onto one of his teammates. Acells doing what he can, but I do think the numbers game, that early grenade elimination, really set the tone on this fight, but Precision gets one, but TJ finally takes him out. We have a double initial coming out. Xysho is going to be the first one to the punch. They have an opportunity really to take out TJ, but with the hill rotating, these eliminations at the wrong time could bite you in the behind.
Yeah, you see Hndles already getting taken out there at the top heaven spot. INZEM's going to see that one player is going to be trying to come across the back side of the map, and you see now 2 players there. Drop shot out, gets a little bit of damage on the INZEM, but not enough to really make him that much more afraid other than just to change covers. Now Precision goes down. He'll have the drop on his back, so don't need to worry about that. I believe he also shot out the shot from it as well. Here comes the retake. You see Hive already in the hill. Hndles is caught out on the top. He gets killed, and once again, Vanquish is having to come across the backside of the map. They're not going to be able to go anywhere, do anything, except run right down an alleyway at the Lancers of Hive.
Yeah, this is the Hive. Like I said, I like what I'm seeing here. I did predict Vanquish to take this series, so like I said, it's a little bit of a bittersweet feeling. But Hive, they kind of have woken up. They're beginning to find themselves and trying to return to that dominant form we've seen them just a split ago after winning that mid-split playoffs, taking that #1 spot. But retake attempt coming through. Acells gets shut down early. Precision falls. Could have got a sneaky kill onto TJ due to that blunder, but in the end, Vanquish is being suffocated 2 hills in a row.
Now we see Hndles being set up here, watching out and lancering out towards Solurs. Solurs is full red. Acells is going to push up at him. See them push back against the tide. They get 1 kill there. Going to be over rotating toward the other side of the map as the hill will rotate from that top left all the way to the bottom right. See 2 players already mounted up there. Hive Solurs is having to worry about somebody trying to pick him off here. Caught in the middle. But the down on the opposite side of the map is very interesting to me because you saw somebody had to rotate back to try to go for that revive because they didn't want to down and get spawned out yet again.
Solurs is going to be hard. It's going to be hard for VK to break. Yeah, I mean, he has the nades. He's relying right now on a lot of damage from his teammates. As soon as he sees that down go through, he's gonna chuck that grenade like he's going for a touchdown in the last seconds of a game. But that just goes to say it, calling a 3rd hill early dominated. That's gonna be a warning frag, kind of back him up, get him out of position. Precision is gonna be the player taken out. Xysho falls as well, but there goes the trade to come through. Hndles gets the drop shot, and it almost makes me wonder, why not wait until you get the drop shot and then try to make a push? Because right now, because of them dying, you're wasting 20, possibly 30 full seconds trying to get in position to even having a chance at this break.
Hndles trying to look over the top of the cover. Here comes the second shots out. TJ will shoot over the cover and get 1 chunk, shoots over the cover, gets a second chunk, gets down finally by Xysho, but Xysho can't finish him. TJ had all of the excess help in the area, able to lancer out, able to get shots over the top, and never found a kill after 2 quick cover shots. Gets him yet another double kill under his belt. He only goes down after they clean up that 3rd kill. Everybody spawns all the way back out. This will be a 167 to 6 point line, and that hill will be right there on that mid box where the B hill is normally for those of you that are fans of Escalation.
Good hour to see Vanquish sending 2 people over towards that overlook. They want to have Acells sitting up top with that angle. That way, when they do try to make a play, anybody contest them physically with a shotgun will pay in the end. INZEM gets caught out, but that's not too bad. That's not too much. INZEM's on the other side of the map. He's not really dictating this fight, but smoke grenades flying across. Xysho going down. It does look like they are going to finally try to get into the hill. 65 seconds left of possible time for Vanquish, but with a frag grenade like that, they're going to take out Precision and possibly use that elimination, their man advantage, to get more.
Solurs up top in the heaven, trying to lance her out. Now pulls the snub, gets a lot of shots there on the Hndles, but the extra damage coming in as Hndles gets that kill finished off. Now the points will accumulate just a hair for Vanquish, and Precision taking over the other heaven. This is definitely going to be tough sledding for anybody that tries to push up into the hill, as they have both angles shooting down into it. This should be a Vanquish hill right now. They've done a fantastic job of the retake. They're able to take over both sides of it. They have all the lanes. And I think if I'm Hive, I'm pretty content to just play back and go to the next one. Just go ahead and over-rotate, start setting up down here at that bottom right side, and just make Vanquish play into the next one. As you can see, they're already doing that, and Vanquish is starting to rotate toward the top side of the heaven. One player in the back has been called out, so 2 players are pushing up to him. Beautiful job there to get 1, now 2 kills. They're going to finish both of those off, and they're not going to be able to do anything about it.
It makes me wonder right now, did Demise call out that he doesn't have grenades anymore? Demise went down with the frags. Acells goes in with no grenade, picks up the meat shield. He got gifted 2 frags, and that's going to be an important call out to come through from Demise, because that where you can try to bait the nades out. You know that they're coming. They have the drop shot as well from downtown, going to connect onto TJ. This could be a possibility for Vanquish to get right back into the game. About 120 if they get uncontested time on this hill.
Here comes Solurs trying to come up to the top of the heaven spot. Vanquish continuing to hold court here. Lancer in the back. Xysho up top, trying to make sure that nobody can get through that back alley without being damaged. Good shot there. 2v1 here at the back alley. Another good kill after the down. And now we see Demise. He has to pull back toward that U side. Not going to be able to get anything going. They're going to have to re-wait for another respawn and another retake. 2 straight hills in a row. Vanquish has dominated the scoreline, and they are right back into this. It's going to be about a 50-point differential.
Contact.
See TJ setting up toward this heaven spot where that next hill will be as it goes from corner to corner.
I don't like this setup overall by Hive, but the important thing is they have these 2 players, both TJ and Solurs, geared up towards the backside. You got INZEM kind of watching that spawn on the other side of the map. But anybody floating through the middle right now, you got to think their target is going to be INZEM, but it's not going to be easy. Frag grenade going out. INZEM catches him slipping. I told you it wasn't going to be easy, and Acells knows exactly why. And using your numbers advantage to continue on to stagger the deaths. They get Xysho out. They're going to be able to hold on a good portion of this hill early. It's just about being able to answer back, but INZEM gets frags as well. This is going to be hard. I do believe they're going to get the majority of this time, probably 90% overall. They're going to be within a throw stone distance from taking this map.
INZEM in the top of the heaven spot. He's going to be able to rotate over. 1 nade out, and the second will come through. They go for the double kill there with the nades. They're going to get 2 down already, and a third is just going to crawl around. They're going to let him bleed out momentarily. They're also going to pick up this next drop power weapon, and with 48 seconds left, they can pretty much get themselves within 50 more points before solidifying a 3-1 victory over Vanquish. And Demise holding court here on the back of the cubby corner at the column. 2 shots in. Beautiful drop over the top by Acells. We'll get another double kill, and that is 4 in a row, really, for Demise, holding all of that attention, making everybody play toward him in that column. That's a beautiful stand, and that puts them well within rights to just continue to rack up the rest of this hill.
Look at that. They're simultaneously holding on to the last 25 seconds of the time, 15 now, while rotating around the map. And then they're getting the eliminations to solidify that position as well. As Solurs, he's going to have this high ground to be able to spot out these players, get the necessary information over. Precision goes through. 4 players are going to try to brute force their way through. Backing up is what INZEM's going to do. They need to set up defensively. Great flanks trying to come through. TJ gets 1. INZEM and company are going to solidify another. Make that 3. Make that 4. Players dead, and it does look like Hive are gearing up to take this round and map. This is going to be a 3-1 if Vanquish doesn't do anything right here, right now.
This is almost impossible to break into, though, because they know where all 4 of you spawned. They know that it's a very tight quarter for you to have to come through. Marks are your best friend as they throw smokes. No matter what you do, you're going to get lancered, maybe even shottied out as you come through, depending on how close INZEM wants to play. 3 players go to the backside. Now 1 pushes up against INZEM. Solurs held court in the middle of the hill, played king of the hill as well. Ends up getting 1, but then the trade-out comes through. TJ is rotated over toward that drop shot. They get basically a little mid-split push here as they're going to push toward the backside of the map and be able to set up for that next hill. They know that they need 30 points left. No matter what Hive does, they are in the driver's seat. They can literally continue to press around hill to hill and pick up trash time, I think, from the majority of what's left, just to be able to force out the round and get a 3-1 victory.
Keep in mind, though, INZEM with a frag is able to throw one. I do believe he might have one more left. INZEM in a 1v1 against Xysho across map is going to solidify that elimination. 2 players left on this side of the map. They need to start gaining some footing, gaining some ground. Luckily for them, the hill has not rotated over just yet, so all that gain is almost for nothing. Getting a frag grenade out was going to be crucial here before the rotation comes in, but just 5 seconds remaining. TJ being forced back. Hndles tending to take as much of this positioning as possible towards the back end. Drop shot's going to take out Acells. It looks like Hive, they want to close this one out. Another elimination onto Hndles. They're going to stagger that one. 2 players around the map. Precision, he needs to be the hero. He needs a miracle. He needs to go massive here and take out multiple members. Acells is doing what he can to be a distraction, but I don't think the help's going to be there. Xysho goes down. Another player is going to fall. Xysho is finally going to be staggered out. Acells falls. So does Precision. That's 3 players dead at one point or another. Even though a revive did come through, they're not going to be there in time. Hive take the map and take the series 3-1 over Vanquish.
What a beautiful job by Hive in that map, and I really thought that it was just going to be much harder than Reactor, even though Reactor might have been a little bit more lopsided. I don't remember the exact score. Hive, to me, their defense on control right now is picture perfect. They are finding the sight lines and the angles to really set up and just force people to make mistake after mistake. And that's what helps them win this series 3-1. The only map they drop is the execution over to Vanquish. They win quite dominantly, really, every other matchup they played. Even with the sub coming in for that first round, or the first 2 rounds on Escalation, they prove everybody wrong. All 3 of us chat and both of us go with Vanquish. All of us proven wrong.
Yeah, it's hot air. I know you say it, but that's what I'm full of sometimes, man. I like what Vanquish have been able to do recently, but you got to give it up. Both of those control maps from Hive, I do think they did a good job of kind of controlling the tempo, controlling the pace, making sure that they were spread out, helping each other the entirety of the way. It didn't matter if they were split up across the map. They had some sort of a cross, and keeping their win condition at the forefront is going to be key. They were not scared to kind of rotate off of hills that had 25, possibly 30 seconds left, because they knew Vanquish had to make that decision, Colin. Whether you go for the dead time or you go for the new hill, either way, that's a win-win for Hive.